Here, Cliffe and Stuart Knechtle discuss with a college student about how the Bible condemns slavery and how the Bible never says that slavery is okay. Listen closely.
Leviticus 25, you guys probably heard this stuff before. 44, your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born into your country. They will become your property. You can bequeath to them your children as inherited property. You can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites from this. So that was some of the slave laws back then. I do have more, but so you said more one time.
Where's the affirmation of slavery in those verses? My point is, the Bible never once affirms slavery.
That was God's instruction to the Israelites.
That was the instruction about how you are to treat slaves.
The law.
And when you read about the way slavery was conducted, what you're beginning to realize is God is tightening the noose on slavery. Slavery was rampant, and it still is too rampant today around the world. Never is there an affirmation or a recommendation that slavery be practiced.
What did I just read?
What you read was a description on slavery being real and how it is to be curtailed, how it is to be changed.
I thought God was the foundation for all that is real and true.
Yes, and God understands the sinfulness of the human heart, which means He's going to guide us step by step. Now, the perfect example of what I'm saying is Matthew chapter 19. Jesus is asked, hey, is divorce okay? And Jesus says, no, at the beginning, the Creator made them male and female and said, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. And the next question from the Pharisees is, really? Well, then why did Moses say, hey, guys, if you're going to divorce your wife, write a certificate of divorce? And Jesus puts it beautifully. He says, it was not this way from the beginning. God permitted this due to the hardening of your heart.
Just think about this one when you go home tonight. And talk to one of your black friends, if you have a black friend who's a Christian, because the black church, the most historic church in America and the largest, why do they still exist? If slavery in the Bible is really promoted in the Old Testament and the New Testament, then why in the world does the black church still exist? I believe because they understand how Frederick Douglass and so many others, William Wilberforce across the pond, why were they such strong Christians who abolished slavery if their holy book said, wait a second, hold on, you need to have slaves. So that's we'll go to the next one, but that's just one I want you to think about, and I want you to have that conversation, because oftentimes it's a very white, male-dominant question and problem that we have here in the West.
So verse 7 says, if a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. If she does not please the master who has been selected for her, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners because he has broken faith with her. I find that verse particularly disturbing because
So do I.
The first part is what it is, but then the second part tries to soften it up. Oh, but
No, it's not softening it
you can't
up.
send her away because that would be unfaithful
It's
to her.
teaching people. God is teaching that slavery is wrong, but He's dealing with reality, which is that slavery was a worldwide phenomenon, and He's calling people out of it step by step.
Where from those verses do you get God is calling out slavery as being wrong?
By reading verse 16 of the chapter you just quoted from, which says, if you kidnap someone and are caught with them in your possession or having sold them, you are to be put to death.
Outside of the
The
laws
death
of
penalty.
slavery. If you do that outside of the laws of those laws existed during American slavery. If you kidnap someone, you would still face punishment. That
So we
doesn't mean that
kidnapped
slavery-
Africans and brought them over here as slaves. Yes, God is against slavery. Then why doesn't He wipe out all the slaveholders? Because He has limited His power, given us free will, and He's calling us out of that type of horrible view of each other that we would enslave each other or divorce each other. It's that simple. It's not that complex.